Then it won't count. And that was 30.92. That was a championship record, incidentally. He's absolutely flying right now. So the first track event of the day is the women's 800 meters T52 final. This has not been an event of the last two Paralympic Games, but it was in Christchurch. And we have the gold and silver medalists from there here. Yuka Kiyama of Japan set her lifetime best this year, as did Cassie Mitchell of the United States. 2:26.93 makes her a live candidate. There's no doubting that. Marieke Vervoort of Belgium, from Flanders. Now the silver medalist from Christchurch 2 years ago, from Canada, Michelle Stilwell. Personal best is the second fastest of the field. She had to play second fiddle behind Kerry Morgan in Christchurch 2 years ago, who came through in a championship record of 2:29, which is and still is her personal best. So Morgan, the defending champion. 5 athletes, 5 different nations, 2 laps of the track, 1 winner. It's Kiyama of Japan, Mitchell of the USA, Vervoort of Belgium, Stilwell of Canada, Morgan of the USA, 4 countries represented in this. Morgan on the outside, Stilwell starting very well for Canada, who finished in second place the last time this was run at a World Championships in Christchurch 2 years ago. And Morgan trying to defend her line, but moving up is Vervoort of Belgium. So it's a good lead at this stage for Stilwell, with Vervoort moving in just behind, but Morgan also very much a live candidate. And it's these 3, and they're very much taking their time at the moment. The Star Wars fanfare, by the way, is for that javelin championship record we told you about a few moments ago. It's a very well defended line by Stilwell at the moment, and well, it's almost been so much cat and mouse up at the front. They've been going so slow that the back markers are now catching up very quickly indeed, and the other American is now up there in Cassie Mitchell. So it's a lead group of 4, and just look where they are. They're in lanes 2, 3, 4 and 5, and at the moment the Japanese Yuka Kiyama is quite a good bit back, but the Americans are really making a strong move here. It's Cassie Mitchell who's way out in front and way out in lane 4 almost, ahead of Vervoort, and then on the inside comes Michelle Stilwell, and the other American, Kerry Morgan, the gold medalist from 2011, is tucked in very nicely just behind. So there's a lead group of 4, and I fancy Yuka Kiyama, the Japanese athlete, may have an opportunity of catching up very shortly in this women's 800 meters T52 final. It's very tight at the front, and so far any of the top 4 might have an opportunity of wheeling away with this here. The 2 Americans are trying to make a little break for it now. On the near side, it's Michelle Stilwell of Canada. The far side, it's Marieke Vervoort of Belgium, and the Americans have been left behind. Oh my word! Oh good Lord! Well, there's been an overturning there, and there's been a major overturning of the result. You can be certain of that, because that was a potential gold medal, which I don't think is going to be recovered now. Well, that was absolutely astonishing, I must say, and really out of absolutely nowhere. We now have an outsider coming through to win, and it's Kerry Morgan of the USA who comes through. She was back in 3rd place. It's extraordinary. Stillwell comes in 2nd, and that looks to be the other American, Kerry Mitchell, who's in 3rd, 2:29.59. But if I'm not mistaken, that was the first 2 that bumped into each other. And well, it's so horrible for Marieke Vervoort out of the race. That was around 150 meters to go. Just watch what happens. It's the top 2 going over each other, and Kerry Morgan pounces. Kerry Morgan comes through to win. Stillwell recovered in time, but Vervoort, who had a great chance of the gold medal, was then just totally taken out of it. And Kerry Morgan, who was way back in 3rd, and who looked as if she wasn't going to get gold at all, suddenly starts sailing forward. Stillwell recovered in time to salvage the silver, but you have to feel so sorry for Marieke Vervoort, whose chances of the gold went in that pile-up, 1st and 2nd, coming a cropper, and it was the 3rd placer, Kerry Morgan, who comes through for an equal championship record time. She was the world champion with the championship record from 2 years ago, and Kerry Morgan sails through. And that sport, there's nothing predictable in it.
I just wonder if there'll be any kind of appeal with that. It's clearly just an accident. Let's see if we can get a closer look at what exactly happened there. That is the winner, Kerry Morgan, equaling the championship record. But it was the top two who took each other out.
Well, let's watch this very closely. It was over on the far side, and they were coming closer and coming closer. And then, well, I just wonder if one of them didn't hit the curb, and then that was it. Stilwell did very well because she stayed afloat. Might have gone into the infield there, I fancied, but unfortunately for her, Vervoort didn't. And as she was trying to get her gears right, the Canadian, in pounced Kerry Morgan. What an unbelievable finish that is. Well, Vervoort will be hurting on the outside, but more importantly, she's hurting on the inside, because that is a world title that for the moment is gone. I think the Belgian team might be putting in some sort of an appeal. Surely they will. Kiyama with a continental record for Asia, but it's Kerry Morgan who retains her title, Michelle Stilwell third, and Cassie Mitchell gets the bronze medal. Good Lord, what a start to the morning.